face a lot of situations, and we are so busy doing so many things in world today, and we don't have as much time to give to our children and tutoring them, and that's when Turito comes into the place. Turito is a fantastic application, or you say an education, which gives to your children for their higher studies and a fantastic education. As they say, your gateway to academic success. Here we have today with us Mr. Uday Reddy, who is a founder of, as you all know, the television, a very popular television channel, and also the Turito applications. Hello, Namaskaram.
Namaskaram.
Welcome.
Thank you, thank you.
Mr. Uday, I'm very happy to meet you first of all. I only heard of you, and today I'm meeting you in person. It's very nice meeting you.
Thanks a lot.
So, Turito is a very nice name to start with. So, when did this idea come to you about education and children?
Actually, this idea came in 2020, actually before COVID. Since I've done YuppTV as an OTT platform, I traveled more than 50 countries, and then a lot of Indians were not getting the content. So I started YuppTV, and you now see OTT, how it has changed the entertainment industry, right? So the same idea came in 2020 before COVID, where technology should be leveraged to disrupt education, democratize education, whether it is US, international, or India. US specifically, my kids went to public school. Okay, there are a lot of private schools, also there who coach them to get into Ivy schools, right? And there's also always a shortage of teachers. Okay, in most of the times, in whether it is US or India. So this technology on the EdTech platform being interactive, Turito, that was an idea to ensure that the students get quality education, affordable education, and also provide them the top faculty, remotely the same location they may not have, right? And the reason we have done for the US specifically is a lot of the parents know. I myself, my elder son, I didn't know that we thought we came from India and I said, oh, in 11th, 12th you have to study hard and then you clear IIT but it's not like that. US, actually the profile building starts very early. And if you want to get into Ivy schools, good schools, you have to have a good grades, good profile building. What is your plan for social service, leadership?
So the plan starts early.
Early. So there is a gap where a lot of the public schools or private schools, these private schools prepare the kids very early. Okay, so we came up with Turito, which complements public school kids to prepare very early. Okay, and that was the idea. So, there is AP classes, SAT, ACT, profile building, and when you come into high school, there's a lot of pressure. So if you start little early, then there is exams like ISC. It's equivalent of SAT, but early only. So when you prepare very early and you have enough time for profile building, then you have a good chance to get into not only to Ivy school, but also in-state good schools, you get good scholarships. Okay, that was one area where EdTech I've started Turito too.
Then Turito starts at which levels?
Actually, we started with one-to-one tutoring. I'll tell you why we started. Because it starts from 4th to 12th. Actually, the reason we started with one-to-one tutoring is no parents doesn't know the brand Turito. Okay, they may not risk to put a kid in preparing for test prep, right? So, but one-to-one is an easy one for any parent to try out. So, we started with one-to-one. Okay.
So, you start from class 1 or class 4?
4th to 12th.
4th to 12th.
Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah. So, let us know more about what are the offerings you have in this Turito.
So, specifically for the US market, there's one-to-one tutoring from 4th to 12th. And we have math, science, English, coding also, these days kids, it's easy to learn very early, and robotics. This is from 4th to 12, 1 to 2. And then for test prep, for competitive exams to prepare for getting into good colleges, we have SAT, ACT, AP classes. But actually, my colleague Nishant will give you more details, but my idea, my vision is get the kid very early and help them, get the grades properly, and prepare for SAT, ACT early, good profile building, participate in good community services, have leadership skills. So these are the things we want to take them as a college admission program, which we will be starting from this academic year from June. We did try it, but not at a scale.
Mm-hmm. So shall we run through somebody right now?
Yeah.
So shall I take over Shmiti online?
Yes, sure.
Okay. We have Shmiti, who's very good with letting us know and navigate through this program. So Shmiti, over.
Hi Gayatri, thanks for the opportunity. So to take you through all with what one-on-one program is. One-on-one tutoring program is basically a personalized learning program which we have designed in Turito to help kids with their personalized journey. What our teachers do, they are certified specifically to make sure that we take the child's learning with their pace and speed and help them learn as they grow. So this is basically our strength and USP where we stand out ourselves from what the other edtech competitors do in the market, making sure that we let the child learn at their own pace. That is one-on-one tutoring for us.
Okay. We would also want to know a little more about the admissions part of it. You also have the enrollments to colleges after the school. You're going to help and navigate them through that as well. So, can you just tell a few things about that? How you linked up with some colleges?
No, so I'll just briefly and then hand over to Nishant. But see, the idea is, again, I said, say college admission program, if you join very early, 9th grade, 6th grade, we help them prepare the profile. When you apply for these colleges, there are common essays, there's a profile building. And so as part of that, first, grades are the most important, okay? You need to have the best grades. There's no compromise on that. And we give that. Then admission, any top college, any colleges, you have essays, you have what kind of community service you're doing, what kind of leadership skills you have. Then clearing your SAT, ACT. Then most important, how many AP classes you have done. So the colleges wanted to know whether the kid is ready to handle, college courses, things like that. So that college admission program handles the kids as part of our program. And like Nishant.
Yeah.
Hi Nishant, welcome. And can you please navigate us through this?
Sure. Thanks, Bhargavi. So we have a comprehensive program called the College Admission Prep Program, as Uday kind of briefed upon it. So this program has 4 different modules to it. The first module is the test preparation module, wherein we help the students prepare thoroughly for SAT and ACT preparation, and we help them make multiple attempts to optimize their score. Right, and the second module is the academic focus module, wherein we help the students to boost their GPA, the academics from their freshman to sophomore, and to the senior years as well. And we also help them to refresh their AP's knowledge and help them crack the AP exams in the second module. The third module is the profile building guidance module, wherein we help the students to build a holistic profile that will make them stand out from the other applicants, which includes activities in community service, stream-specific activities, extracurricular activities, etc. These are apart from the academics. Right? And the fourth module is the college planning and strategy module, wherein we help the students to build a college shortlist, ensure that their applications are strong, and then apply to the colleges. Right, so this is a program which is in a very personalized nature based on the interests of the kids to help them pave their way from high school to the best colleges in the US. Right, and what we do very well, apart from whatever the other competitors do in the US, is we handhold the child right from when they are coming into our program till they get to a college. Right, and we do a lot of hands-on experiences as well. Like we help them connect with the universities, we help them connect with the student mentors who have already gone to these colleges. So this way we have kind of molded a very comprehensive program, and since the child comes in to our programs through the one-on-one tutoring side, it is very easy for us to kind of understand the child and transition them to this program. Yeah, so that's the program.
Thank you, Nishant. So tell us more about this academy, Mr. Uday.
Turito Academy.
Turito Academy. Tell us more about it.
Yeah. See, as I mentioned, we need to democratize education, right?
True.
See, idea we started one-to-one tutoring. I told because nobody knows Turito brand, so it was easy to get the trust of the parents. But the bottom line in US also, there's a lot of public schools who can't afford very high ARPU, tuitions and all that in hourly basis. So the Turito Academy is a self-learning planning study, the course where we have done study material and test assessment from 4th to 12th, all the grades. Secondly, we also have all the test prep, SAT, ACT and AP classes. So going forward with this, a student, if he's really able to go in, he can study the material, he can study the test prep. There's a lot of test assessment based on AML. So more you write, you will get to know what your strengths and weaknesses based on the test. Then accordingly, study material is given. The parent also has a parent tab, but all at $20 a month. Okay?
Oh.
And in addition, if you have any questions, clarifications, you can ask. So somebody will answer in few hours. The idea is this is to scale the entire US mainstream American kids. This can be done through direct to consumer or through partnership with schools. But it took almost 2 years just to build the content of common core curriculum, having the top faculty go through these content, study material, preparing them, teaching them, and preparing the questionnaire, test assessment. So I see this is the big for us.
So you spent a lot of time doing all this.
Because anybody can afford, and some government schools also generally they absorb the cost, and that can be free to entire US school kids.
Right.
So that's the intent, and as you know, I rightly know, in IPL this year in India, it is $1 billion, right? It is free for the Indians, right? When you achieve that kind of scale, for the in education also, it could be very, very affordable, and that's the reason why we started.
That's your aim.
That's the goal.
That's a goal. That's a goal. Okay.
And you see today artificial intelligence, how tech is changing. When OTT was started in 2006-7, when I started YuppTV, nobody knew it. Today you see how it is.
Yes.
I strongly believe that the interactive technology on the edtech side, combined with artificial intelligence, can really change the way kids can learn. The learning outcomes can be done at a very, very affordable and can be available at a scale. And that's what Turito Academy is all about.
Oh, wow. So that is a very, very ambitious thing, and I really wish you obtain it.
Yeah,
but for now, we'll take over Smriti. Smriti, would you?
So, like Uday rightly said about Turito Academy, it's a one-stop solution which we wanted to create for the US market, where people will consider that application as a subscription model. And like you also mentioned, that it's as cheap as $1 per day. It's lower than that rather. And it's a repository which we created of content. And that's why it took us so long to create a product of that sort. And now we want to leverage that in the market through direct consumer or through organization or through institutions which can actually use this content, and kids can get benefited out of it. The best feature I believe in Turito Academy, which we have got on the table, which is very unique in the edtech market, is Ask Your Doubt. Ask Your Doubt gives you an opportunity to go ahead and ask minimum 5 to 10 questions on a monthly based subscriptions, and also increase that subscription model later and ask that and get the answers in few hours. We have the top-notch teachers sitting in our model to answer your questions and give you that clarity with examples. So that's really a disruptive thing which we have created in the edtech market, and we are really looking forward to.
Oh, that's nice. That's very welcoming. So, Mr. Uday, tell me, how many people have you hired, and are all these people are from all over the globe, or how have you managed to get so many teachers into the platform?
So from a teacher's point of view, we have a combination of Indian and US teachers, international teachers. Currently on the platform, we have around 12 to 1500 teachers.
Wow.
who's doing one-to-one tutoring or test prep. But it's a great opportunity for teachers also, because it's a platform. They, for example, from India, a lot of teachers join in the off-peak hours of their time and teaching the kids in the US. So it's an employment opportunity as well.
That's fantastic. That's very nice. So, Shmiti, can I ask Shmiti to kindly guide us through how a student in USA?
That's great. That's great as a question. So, in the US market, we actually have our www.turito.com website where a child can log in into the website, and they will be landing into our homepage where they can, if a new customer is enrolling, they get a they get a button of registering themselves where they can put in their personal details like their name, phone number, grade they are looking at, the course they are looking at. And once they fill up these personal details, they are routed through as a form which is submitted into the system. As soon as the details are submitted, a counselor reaches out to them within few hours to take more insights of their grade, understanding what they are looking out for from Turito as a support, and hence they align demos with the most appropriately suitable teacher for them, and post the demo experience, the child goes ahead and enrolls with Turito. So it is a very smooth process where every part has its own role to play, and it smoothly transitions into an enrollment, post which we take it forward with the onboarding and
Okay, then how do Shmiti? I would like to hold on and ask you that how can parents monitor the same?
comes into function. The parent app actually gives the parent an proper data analytics of what assessments the child has completed, how many topics they have covered, what has been their achievements, which are the areas which they need to work upon. And also along with that, a tutor gives insightful information through their feedbacks on every session for a parent to know. So for that, parent app is an overview for the parent to know everything about their child's progress during the course.
Okay, then Shruti, let me ask you one question. Can the parent themselves talk to the educators or the tutors?
Our platform gives them a feature called Tutor Connect, which is an inbuilt feature where they can directly connect with the tutor any time of the day and ask them questions and any kind of feedback about the child, and the tutor can directly inform them. We have created this system within our platform so that everything as a part of information can be tracked as a customer.
Okay, so the last one, like related to this, Shruti, that how is it different than the other educational?
So, Gayatri, to answer this question, I definitely consider that creating something unique or bringing in something unique on the table is what we focus upon. And I believe Torito's USP is making sure that we go ahead and give that customized learning for the child. We believe that every child is unique, every child's learning path is different, and every child's pace of learning is also different. And that is where our teachers are trained in such a way that they go in line and in sync with the child's learning progress, and hence guide them to take the progress forward of the child. So I think that is where we start.
Fantastic. Thank you, Smriti. So, Mr. Uday, I would like to ask you something. So, you started this in the year 2022.
20.
2020. I correct myself. So, since 2020 till date, what progress have you seen as a startup person and also as a parent?
Mm. So first 2 years was COVID, right? But we spent a lot of time building the technology. Okay, there's a lot of time building the content. See, content means all the courses.
True.
Video,
that is the main thing.
Video content. It took common curriculum in the US. We have done all of the common curriculum. Then Australia, then India. So first 2 years was building the platform and content. It took. But now we have 12,000 students studying in between the US and the international market.
Wow, that is commendable.
Yeah.
That is commendable.
So most of them are in the one-to-one tutoring, but the goal is to get them into a college admission program or democratizing by giving through Turito Academy in the US.
Oh.
As a parent, we tried everything on my son. My younger son, Pradyul, actually it worked very well. Actually, he took there's an entrance called ISCE and SSAT. So he prepared for that exam, and it helped him actually get ACT score in the first
Good
round.
scores?
Good score. Decent score. I would say he's got 35 out of 36, but I think he's like taking again. But I think that early support helped actually, and also now we know exactly what needs to be done for my second son. Earlier, first, we're not aware of what is the whole US education system needs to get into good colleges. So that's a good learning on a personal front as a parent.
Wow, look at it. The man who's experimenting his startup with his own children. That is something really commendable. And experimenting with your own kids is the best way to tell people that I have done it with mine. You can test yours.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So, what about the education? For example, you told that till some time, and until 12th, you're going to guide them as a tuition person. But then afterwards, they would like to join colleges for their graduation, undergraduation. So, how do you plan that? So are you link up with the universities there, or how do you do it?
So for the US, we have relationship with the universities. I think Nishant can add. But the goal is by 11th grade you finish by August of 12th you have to complete your applications. So the work starts very early, early 11th grade. But the profile building and preparing for good AP classes have to start way early in ninth grade. So for the college admissions, it's not just you apply or something. Everything starts from 9th grade. All the grades are taken into consideration. How many AP classes you have to finish your SAT, ACT, what is your profile. So all of that, but the application process starts very early, like in the early 11th grade. They start if you're looking into good colleges. By October, you have to submit in the 12th. All the applications gets closed. But I think Nishant can add some of the relationship we have with the universities.
Okay. Hi Nishant, welcome back. I would like to ask you something. As Mr. Uday says, since class 9th, the building up of career starts. And unlike in India, there you need to go through a different profile. That is, be it social service, be it your academics, all these come into together to put into the university. So how does this application?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think a lot of parents would want to understand how they can navigate through this entire process and get to a good college for their undergrad. So the first and the most important step, of course, is, as Uday mentioned, you got to start early. Okay, as early as possible. I would say as early as 6th or 7th grade, you have to start building your profile, preparing yourself for the entire college admission journey. Right. So there are, I would say there are 5 tips I would want to give to the students to kind of navigate through this entire process. Number 1 is you have to maintain a good GPA, good grades throughout your freshman to senior years. That is what the university see, because they would want to look at the academic rigor of the student. Right. Number 2 is I would say at least give 2 to 3 attempts of SAT or ACT, because that is a standardized test score which they look at to understand what is your competitive spirit, where do you stand among other applicants, right? And if you're looking at really top-notch universities, like the top-ranked universities, I would definitely suggest you should aim for more than 1500 out of 1600 in SAT, right? So that is number 2. Number 3 is at least complete 5 to 6 APs through your years of school. APs are advanced placement courses, and if the students do that in the area they're going to apply to, that will show to the university that they have a demonstrated interest in that particular stream, right? So that is again pretty important. And as Uday mentioned, the 4th tip I would want to give is build a profile that is holistic and that stands out from other applicants. By profile, what I mean is, apart from the academics which I've mentioned before, the non-academic profile as well, like how many hours of community service you have done, what are the stream specific activities you have done, like internships or projects, which will show to the university that, yeah, you are actually interested in that stream. And what are the other extracurricular activities you've done, especially activities like sports. Let's say a child is like really good in a particular sport. There are enough accreditations bodies in the US that will help the child to kind of apply to the universities through that particular sports quota, right? So that is again number 4. Number 5, very important, is you have to build a very, very balanced college shortlist. It cannot be that you apply to all the top universities and you lose out and admit through the entire year. So build a good college shortlist and write an application with proper examples from your own examples from what you've done during the high school, right? That will give the genuinity to the college that, yeah, you have done, you know your stuff, you have done well during the colleges. And this is an ultra competitive environment, right? For the top ranked universities, there are great number of applications for each. So select the course you're going to. You might probably look at what are the lesser competitive courses, let's say not non-CSE courses, etc. You would look at and try to get into the best college possible. So that is what I wanted the students and parents who are attending.
Nice, Nishant. Thank you. You're actually spoon feeding all of us. Thank you so much. And that's a very welcoming thing, because it's very rare that once you go abroad, you're clueless of what to do. You try to look for your community and try to find out things from wherever sources. But this is, I think, one source you get into, and then there are tutors guiding us, guiding the parents as well as the children. And this is fantastic. Thank you. Another question I would like to ask you is about what kind of curriculum do you follow, and how do you navigate these children through that?
See, in the US, we have a common core curriculum, which is actually 80% most states follow.
Okay.
Most, like whether from Georgia to California. So 80% of the common curriculum, we've already done it. But as Smriti mentioned, for every student, we customize, it's a personalized learning. Whether it is Georgia, whether it is the one-to-one tutoring is almost personalized. Yeah.
So I'll ask Smriti more questions about it. Smriti, hi, welcome back. And let me ask you this question, that as Mr. Uday says, that 80% of the people follow the same kind of curriculum. But then here in India, we have like maths or science, and then you exactly do medical or engineering. But in US, it's not that so. You have varied subjects, and you can choose even in your graduation different subjects.
So, as we mentioned, we basically on majority of the students, because it's the common core US curriculum is what we follow, and it is the subjects like majorly math, science, and English which we focus on, which are our primary subjects which have most of our audiences on board with us with. So we also focus on to customizing the learnings for the kids, as I previously mentioned, making sure that we are able to touch base the areas of improvement for the child and wherever they need more of the teacher's guidance. But not to lose on the fact that we coldly focus on the fundamentals of these learnings, and want to make sure that we reinforce the knowledge and the fundamentals of these topics, and the teachers adapt to those learnings for the kids. So that.
Okay. What do you see the learning out?
So the learning outcome definitely comes across as through the dashboards which we have on the parent apps. So the learning outcomes all from all of these definitely reflect through the tutor student grade. I'm so sorry. So what we generally do in our students' learning graph is, while we onboard a student with us, we make sure that we are able to capture what grades they are currently at and what they are looking to achieve, and then the teacher navigates the child, making sure they're able to achieve those. On the same page, parent becomes more proactive into seeing that their child is on the same path. They can track it through a parent app, which is the live dashboard, to give them analytics of the child's progress. And at the same time, at the end of the day, when we have periodic PTMs, which is the parent teacher meetings, which we conduct on one-on-one between that parent and the teacher. We make sure that these deliverables are given as feedback to the parents, and also focus on areas where the child needs more
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. So, Mr. Uday, I find this edu system very interesting. It's a mixture of the taking care Indianness, as well as giving the best output and best outlook to the parents as well as children. So, how did you plan to design this like this? What was your idea basically, other than just the education? You wanted parents also to be a part of it. You want children also to be a part of it, and both in amalgamation with the teacher.
See, in the education ecosystem, I think everybody has to be accountable, right? The student and the parent,
True.
the teacher, and us as a Turito. So that's why like a 4 pillars. So parent app gives a full transparent view of what student is doing in the class. I think I want to add to the Smriti from the learning outcomes, right? See, a parent joins a student, right? So we are actually working on this right now. I have 4 advisors joined. 2 of my classmates from Delhi College of Engineering who are gold medalists by themselves, and they went their kids to Ivy schools, and one of them is a head of technology and a parent CTO and chief strategy. The reason is, as a parent, the kid that comes to our system, right? First thing, we still are working on. I wouldn't say we are there. We're not there yet. There's a lot of work going in now.
It's work in progress.
Work in progress, exactly. So we want to understand why the kid is joined Turito. Okay, what is that outcome we wanted? And let's say the 7th class math. We want to make sure that the 7th class math school grades should be also be tracked, not just our internal system.
Correct.
The outcome should be resulting in that also.
It should be relatable.
Relatable. So that's the way we, as I said, when the parent app, every day attendance, what grades is getting in the exams or the classes, even if you're taking a SAT test, what scores he's getting, so that parents also sees what is happening. That's
so the monitoring happens both ways.
Yeah.
And you said you also monitor with the grades in the school.
Yeah.
So they need to upload those.
Yeah. Now it's a work in progress, because I personally want to see in 9th to 12th, if it is standardized scores, we can relate it. But in schools also, they should the grade should be tracked, so that there is, after joining Turito, there is an learning outcome for the student, and he's topping in the grades or he's doing better in the grades in the school as well.
Okay. So that's the reason you thought this is the way to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are the past achievements you have got through till now?
So I'll tell both. Okay. The US market, I think Nishant has all the ranks, SAT scores. I think many of them got more than 50 scores.
Wow.
Many of the students went into Ivy schools, good schools. But specific to India, actually, how some of the schools advertise 1, 2, 3, 4, and
a lot of advertising.
Yeah, right. So, but actually, if you see the percentage of students getting into good colleges, when I'm saying good colleges, has to be government college, where the parents don't need to pay a fee. It could be IITs, RECs, Usman University, JNTU, Annamalai.
It doesn't pinch the pocket of the parent.
Right? So, the top, which you think, their average is 10 to 15. We've achieved 40, more than 40%.
Wow.
So that's in Indian 2 centers. We've started here. That is achieved. But coming to the US, since it's many students, so have got a lot of them got good scores in SAT, ACT, and a lot of them went to good colleges. Actually, it happened only from last 2 years. The first 2 years, I said COVID time, we actually spent time on building the tech and content. But Nishant, you can add, specific to the US, some of the kids who've got.
Yeah, sure. So it's been a pretty, I would say, successful journey in terms of achievements part. We have about more than 80% students who have scored more than 1400 plus in SAT over the last 3 years. And also about 30 students who've gone to proper Ivy League schools. If I look at the top 100 universities across the world in terms of ranking, we have more than 800 students who've gone to these universities, right? And even I think Smriti would watch for this. Even in terms of the one-on-one tutoring, we have seen a lot of percentage points improvement in terms of their grades and GPA. The last analysis we did, it was almost more than 29% improvement in terms of grades with every one-on-one tutoring module which we have done, right? And we have students who've gone to like really good universities, like one student has gone to MIT, the other student has gone to Harvard, UCLA, Purdue. A lot of these universities, if I keep naming them, I think just in the last fall itself, we have had students who've got multiple admits. Like a student got a admit from MIT, and at the same time he got an admit from Oxford as well in UK. So the student was confused as to which college he has to go to. So that all that hand holding which both Uday and Shruti mentioned with respect to our programs is what stands out, I would say, in terms of getting these achievements.
Wow, that's really commendable and marked with the golden letters. Thanks for that information, Nishant. That's very nice. And when we see that children are progressing, and when you see the result like this, where children themselves are confused with their progress and they get multiple offers, and that's such a achievement to the organization by itself.
Yes.
So when you see such things happening, so how do you think these parents would also recommend other children about this education system, or how does it go according to the business?
Absolutely. I think I strongly believe in education has to be going through referral only.
Referral.
Absolutely. Because a lot of my investors and say, hey, you don't advertise market much. Because see, the problem is we are also new into the tech system, and we are building, we're learning, innovating with the tech and on education, the study together, right? So I strongly believe that this kind of achievements will automatically help the organization grow. It can't be overnight you become too big, and you've seen what is happening with one of the players.
True.
And it has really created a lot of mess for every tech firm, because there's too much marketing and too much instead of focusing on the learning outcomes. So we've gone very organically, very slowly, and we're making sure we're also learning how to innovate, how to have better learning outcomes for the kids. And there's a lot of feedback coming from the parents, and they're not. I could say that there are complaints for us, and every complaint, that's why I said the 4 advisors have brought in. To each complaint, how do we ensure we resolve it, and for the next kid it becomes a better experience.
So you're always trying to be better and better and better.
Yeah.
So it's an ongoing process, definitely.
And that should get us referrals.
Sure. I'm sure it will. Tell me more about the curriculum. Does curriculum change as rapidly as in any other parts of the world, or does it take time for the curriculum to change?
The curriculum is, if you go to Australia, has a different curriculum. But most of the math, science, English, there's a kind of a common.
The standardization is there.
Is there, but still you have to work if it's an Australia and UK. I think.
Yeah, these are things we need to always remember.
Yeah.
Okay, Shmiti, I would like to ask you something because you are also.
There's a questions from the. I think.
Are there some questions?
Yeah.
Yes. Let's look into it. There's Vamshi who's asking question on WhatsApp. Well, dear friends, there's the number scrolling down. If you would like to ask questions through WhatsApp, please send us a message and we would read it out and try to answer most of your questions. And here we have Vamshi on WhatsApp. What resources and materials do you provide for learning is the question. So I give it to Nishant.
Smriti, take it.
Smriti.
Sure. So when it comes to resources and study material, we have a proper inbuilt curriculum in our system. As we mentioned, the US core curriculum, which in every topic, in every to every grade, we have divided it topic wise, where every topic has a classwork assessment, a homework assessment, and a test which is there along with the PPT presentation for a child. So for every topic we try to cover the topic extensively so that the fundamentals of the topic are also covered while the teacher is taking a one-on-one session and explaining the fundamentals to the child, and later the child implements those learnings in the classwork and completes that, and also takes that learning back as a homework and completes it as a part of assessment. So we try to cover it extensively, focusing that the child would have got the conceptual knowledge, and also along with that our inventory and repository has a lot of other worksheets parallelly kept for the child to take in more assessments on these topics. Thank you.
Uh-huh. Mhm. So when they take test also, you can see the marks and you can also share it to the parents.
So a parent could see it and track it through the parent app and see where the child is progressing towards and which all topics need more strengthening and working upon.
Asking us a question: does the course we buy come with an expiry period?
Okay, want me to take?
It does. Okay, so Mr. Uday, what do you want to talk about it? Why does it have an expiry period?
Yeah, so actually, they have a 1 month time
Mm.
to, if they're not happy, they can they can get the refund done.
Mm.
Also, the reason for the expiry is we are actually giving the courses at an extremely affordable price point. I can share that C2 Academy is in Atlanta.
Mhm.
If you take an online course, they charge average $50 if you buy in volume. Otherwise, it's $75 an hour. And then they have three students. One parent comes and teaches three students at the same time.
Hmm.
And
Not
here,
one-on-one.
not one-on-one. So, but here we have made it very, very affordable. So because of our commitments to the technology, to the platform, to the teachers, so there is an expiry period. Let's say you buy for 6 months, right? So there is a 6 month the student can use the credits. And the parent app now we implemented, Smriti, correct me, I think the parent app shows when it is expiring and they can schedule the classes.
It gives you an alarm. Okay, very nice. We have Mr. Prashant online. How does Turito track and access student progress is the question. So how does it track and access? So it's all in the cloud, in his data, in his name, in his registered name. How's it? So Smriti will answer.
Yeah, Smriti.
Surely, I'll take that. So, Gayatri, like I've also mentioned in a lot of our previous discussions which we have had, that to track a child's progress, a parent have it very handy at the tip of their fingers. A application called Parent App, where once you log in through your registered phone number, you'll be able to see even if there are siblings, if the parent has 2-3 kids, they will be able to scroll down into the profile and select the child profile which they are looking to track the progress for, and they'll be able to select it and look at the graphical analytics of the child's progress, whether it be worksheets, assessments, or any other learning outcomes which they would want to see. It also shows, the best highlight is they also shows the number of completed classes, pending classes, and left, along with its 10-year completion date, so a parent can keep a track. And also we have a notification alarm which sends them a reminder 7 days before, giving them a quick reminder that your period is going to expire with the membership with Turito, so that you can.
Okay, so you have it till the academic session is over, this assessment reports?
We have it till the 10-year completion is there with Turito. So, for an example, if a child has enrolled with us for 6 months and their classes are there for the duration, the parent will be able to track the progress of the child in that period of enrollment.
That's nice. Thank you. And we have another question by Babu K. How is the tutor quality and retention for continuing the course is maintained? That's what I'm sure they meant.
Yeah, I think there are the tutor quality and tutor retention.
Yeah.
So we go through a very rigorous
quality and retention. Yes.
We go through a very rigorous process of while before taking any tutor. There are tests they have to go through. They have to go to a demo to the internally, and then also to some students, and then we finalize the tutor quality. Having said that, there is still work in progress, as I said. I've hired some couple of advisors to specifically look at improving the processes to get the better quality tutors, and also from a retention point of view, because as I said, tutor is also an ecosystem in this.
Correct.
That's
retention is a challenge.
Right? So retention, we're working on some incentive programs based on performance. This includes monetary incentives and also stock incentive program, which we're going to announce soon. And that's the way we can have the tutors, the good tutors, performing tutors, stay with us for long run.
Oh, that's a good news for the tutors. There's something coming up for you. And we have another question by Mr. Bhasha. How qualified are the tutors employed by Turito? That he just mentioned, I'm sure.
I think to that, I just want to highlight that whenever we select a tutor, they go through rigorous steps. And when I say rigorous, there are steps of demo, there are steps of mock assessments. To every tutor who is onboarded are either certified, have higher degrees for that subject. Only after certifications is when we consider them into the selection process. So our filtration of making sure that we get the best quality on board with us to deliver the kids with the expectations which the parent has, which they entrust on Turito. So we make sure that it is.
Thank you, Shruti. And we have Deepika who's asking us a question. How does Turito ensure students' engagement during online tutoring sessions? Oh, wow. This is a very difficult question to answer. So how does the tutor engage in the sessions?
So I think just to answer current situation, okay, this is one-to-one tutoring, right? So
right.
It's always engaging. But then there's a lot of animation, there's a lot of content, video content, which keeps them engaging in terms of the learning outcomes. There are quizzes, which we keep testing, so that way they're engaged. But
they're awake.
Yeah. The gamification is something which we're working on, which is not still there, which can motivate the kids even after the, class. But I think, Smriti, you want to add something?
We have our own inbuilt platform which we call the whiteboard, where annotations are used to make the session more interactive for the child. Whenever a teacher is explaining a concept or anything which needs practical knowledge, they actually use the digital pen and the slide to write on it, so that the child can actually see it on the monitors. So this whiteboard actually makes the session very much more interactive for a child's attention span to increase during the session. And along with that also, even while the child is already kept engaged during the session, we also have processes called the tutor connect, which even if a child after the session has any doubts, can come on the platform, ask the teacher, and teacher in her next available hour can come and answer that to the child. So it's not that the learning is limited only during the session of the child, but also after it. So that's what we have for them.
Okay, thank you, Shmiti. Mr. Uday, I would like to ask you something very personal. You started with this YuppTV, which is all on cloud. Normally, you need a lot of infrastructure to start a big TV channel, and a lot of investment also. But then you came like a spring and sprouted like a tree very soon with in a very short span. And you've also gained a very good name across the world. So how did this idea come up with the cloud thing, and how did you put in your investment in here?
I think it started in 2007. So the first OTT in India, and we've been the pioneers in the space. But interestingly, I'll tell you today, whatever live is happening, right? It's almost like a studio infrastructure. It's everything running on the cloud. This is going to be very disruptive for content providers and content creators. You don't need to put 10-15 crore of investment to have a TV channel, news channel. You can immediately put everything on the cloud. What is today it's happening is all on the cloud. Everything, we're going live. There's no switchers, players. Everything is on the cloud. So yeah, that's the.
So you have experimented it. You're the pioneer to experiment
This one is actually definitely happening now.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
We can witness it.
Yeah.
That's nice. So in the same group, you also start about this Turito also. This also came into line now.
Yeah.
So are you enjoying it as much as you enjoyed the YuppTV?
Well, definitely, I think it's great. Education is something. I'm very interested for long now. But I think there's a lot to achieve. We have not achieved yet. The achievement will happen if the democratization or the way in India also we want to do some online at 50 rupees a month to a grassroots rural level, or the Turito Academy at the US level to reach to every common man to afford. That's where it's going to be exciting, but a lot of work to do yet. We're not there.
That's very nice, Mr. Uday, that you've told such grounded things, that you want the education to be facilitated such so that every nook and corner and every person, irrespective of their financial status, should earn education. That's a very welcoming thing and very nice thing to tell today. Thank you very much. It was lovely interacting with you and knowing more about Turito. And thank you, Shruti, as well as Nishant, for joining us today. And thank you all the audiences. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Smriti. Thank you, Nishant. Thank you, Bhargav.
Thank you. Namaste.
When you're launching a new product with a tight deadline,
2 weeks?
Grammarly's tone suggestions can help motivate your team with a positive approach. Because you know we got work to do. Looking good, team. When it's time to pitch your product to clients, a more personable and friendly approach can help sell it. And look, they bought it all. With Grammarly, getting the tone just right makes a big impact on your team's success. Click the blue button to download Grammarly